What's up, YouTube? Today I have an unboxing of a rather niche piece that might be offensive to some of you, so if you do get easily offended, please stop watching now. If not, keep on watching ahead. So the background of this piece is that it's actually one of those gimmicks that rose to internet fame, and it became quite popular in the Reddit community. And for some reason, it just has this weird kind of fascination. So I couldn't help it. There's a guy who was making these, and he actually created his own stamp. And for one reason or another, I just decided to add this to my collection. It's a custom pour, 1 ounce, Troy, and the font is Comic Sans, which is very different. So it's not your typical pour. This image has been featured in so many different kinds of memes. It's a little ridiculous, from Batman memes to different movie memes, even all the way up to a UPS logo. And it was the biggest troll move by an insider that it was beautiful, but was caught and edited out before. But you can actually read about it if you do a search for it. So I'm not going to link to that just because it's so ridiculous, but it really did happen. So for me, this is one of those moments in history, like the Ooga Cha Cha Baby, the Macarena, like just certain things that you might want to hold on to that represent certain points of time. It's just one of those ridiculous pieces that's just kind of fun that's in my piece. Like when you look at my stack, this one just kind of stands out like WTF. What is that? And I'm confirming that it is real silver. So the pourer gave me an over pour and confirmed that it is 999. I will say it feels good in the hand. It's a nice size. It's because of its I almost can't say this seriously, but yeah, it's a fun piece. It's I won't be getting too many of these, but like so many stackers are so serious, this is just one that just eases things up a little bit. I'm not serious all the time. I do like a good laugh every now and then. And I can't tell you why, but when I look at this, it just makes me feel better. Like I can't help but smile or chuckle just a little bit. Anyways, moving on to some more relevant and realistic stuff, because I know most of you don't want to hear too much about this. I have been watching the market lately, and it has been creeping up, just like I was expecting. And I expect that to continue at least for till the end of the month, because it would coincide with the sell-off that happened in December, where people were tax loss harvesting. Where we're at right now, I do think we're going to have some room to kind of teeter a little bit, at least until the inauguration. So we'll see what happens then. So on to the next pickup. I still am picking up things at spot when deals present itself. And I have made some purchases recently, because with the recent spike, that did tell me that maybe the lows might not go as low as I would have hoped. So rather than kind of let it completely pass me by, I did decide to use a little bit of money that I had stashed away and pick up a few items. And luckily, there was a deal that Silver by the Ounce, shout out to him for notifying us, and link to his channel down below. Great channel that has a lot of a very structured approach to stacking, very, very disciplined. The budgeting itself is something that I wanted to cover, and guys like Silver by the Ounce and Steady Stacker, Steady Stacking Silver, are all guys that have sort of a little formula to how they're stacking, and they're consistent and relentless in their stacking. Of course, there are others like Belang P who have been saying this kind of thing for a long time, and these guys just kind of dollar cost average over time. I think the underlying skill that I really want to highlight is the discipline that it takes to set budgets, or set a buying schedule, or even set a non-buying schedule, where you tell yourself, I'm not going to buy because I have X, Y, and Z expenses. For me, this became important during the holidays because I knew I had expenses coming up, and now I've actually learned some new habits, some new skills, and I was able to save the money I needed for the expenses that came around, specifically property tax and holiday travel and taxes coming up. So when you know something is coming up and you've developed skills to save your own money and not buy anything, it really kind of makes you feel good, because now I'm sitting on a better cash position and I can choose when to purchase rather than a market dip choosing for me when I'm going to buy. It's really an exercise of self-control, if that makes sense. So this has helped me be able to stack a little bit more and stay within my means and even live a little bit below it. So I'm finally getting to the point where I'm getting my overspending habits under control and finally making that transition. Because as a beginner stacker, I was just still overspending. It was just a different product. It was just a different material. And now I've finally gotten to the point now where I feel that I'm not overspending. As many of you know, this is a tertiary investment for me, or not my primary, not even my secondary. It's just one of those ways for me to save additional funds on top of what I'm already saving. So now I'm at least under control of my own spending, and I don't really feel the need to spend as much. It has become a part of what I'm spending. Before, I used to be in the camp where I'm buying the silver because I would buy something else, so I might as well buy the silver because it's saving anyway. If you're just starting, there's nothing really wrong with that, but over a long period of time, if you're not really gaining control over your spending habits, you're just doing the same thing with different stuff. I'll be honest, I couldn't keep buying the way I was purchasing, and I couldn't keep up the pace that I was buying and selling. It was a very aggressive pace, and I was able to do well enough for what I did, and I would do it again if I were to do it all over again, because it's basically an accelerated learning. So if you're young, ambitious, and got the energy, you can go buy and sell, and now would be a relatively decent time. This was really when I was in my mode of buying and selling, finding and identifying what was good and what wasn't, why. And now I'm a little more conservative because I felt like I've caught up and I'm trying to learn something else. That's one of my things, is that I do like to jump around with things that I learn. And that is actually going to lead up to what's going to come at the end of this video, because I am shifting hobbies a little bit and taking more or less time from this hobby, because it's going to move pretty slow and I'm going to allocate a certain portion to it every month from this point on. I'm not the type of stacker that feels a sense of urgency that the dollar is going to collapse, that the government is going to break down, that there's going to be some SHTF event. But I do think there will be liquidity events that I hope to cash in on, because I'm not this type of stacker that wants to hold this and forever either. Once it hits a certain price point, I'm going to liquidate a portion of it. Or if something becomes popular, I'm going to convert it. If I need some extra cash, I'm going to sell it. This is what it's for. If the gold to silver ratio hits a point and I need to do a conversion, I'm going to do it. It's one of those things where I don't feel like I need to be tied to these precious metals for anything. It's a means to an end, not the end. So I'm not planning to spend it, and I am planning to purchase more at lower premiums, and I'll still speculate on some pieces that I think are worth it. That, we can never really be sure what's going to make money. There are some historical things, but in reality, it's all going to depend on where the market goes and what future buyers want. And these 1/10 Eagles, or Australian Eagles, with a mintage of 10,000, they're selling at spot, tells me that government or MCM couldn't sell all 10,000. So we'll see if people wanted them. At this time, purchasing 1/10 ounce fractionals at spot, I don't really see a problem with spot hovering around 1,200. In the past, I used to feel more confident in which way the direction the market would go, but over time, I found that it's completely unpredictable, and at any moment, right when you think you know, you don't know, and it goes the other way. So I'm definitely more conservative, and reality definitely kicks you in the face, especially when you're not looking. Not just with the market price, but also everything that goes on in the real world. It's just one of those things. You just got to be ready for multiple situations. Sorry for the long video on this one, but it was one of those videos I've been thinking about, and I will leave you off with some clips from some activities that I've been doing over the last weekend. Have a seat, relax, and enjoy. Over the weekend, I dropped by the LA Fit Expo where former UFC champ John Jones was residing before he got kicked out for HGH. They had some twerking classes for fitness to loosen things up a little bit, which was pretty funny and awkward at the same time. They also had different competitions like arm wrestling and calisthenics, strongman, which was pretty cool. And they were giving away supplements and different freebies, which was also nice. I was able to buy some discounted supplements for my own training, which was really cool, and saw some YouTubers. So that was my weekend. If you like, please comment, like, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.